morning, it's BelGeode again, and we are here. This is, oh, you can see me there. This is the New England Air Museum. This is the site for FlightSimCon this year and every year. And as the name would suggest, there are a bunch of aircraft for us to see. So, without any further ado, let's head indoors and we'll see what we can find. Now, of course, everybody else is here. So, Nova Wing 24 is inside, and FlightSimGuy, we'll run into them in a second here. This is the lobby area. Oh, look at that. Wow, that is awesomeness. That gentleman there with the blue jeans on, that will be FlightSimGuy, and hiding behind our astronaut here is Nova Wing 24. Say hi, boys. Oh, this place, I can tell this is going to be a drool-worthy moment.
Yeah, I should probably get some video.
Yeah, we have a lot to explore in this area, so naturally we want to see everything. Oh, look at the models. There you go. If you're into model aircraft, they have a very extensive collection here. Look at that. Sea Knight. Wow. Now in a moment I'm going to take you in and we'll take a look at the real aircraft here. Look at that. F-4 Phantom. It's a beautiful thing. And then you've got a souvenir place over there. All right, so let's go take a look at some of the aircraft here. Okay, so this is the first of the hangars. This is the military hangar, so there's naturally anything you could ever want. We've got a Huey right here. One of my favorites in DCS when it's not trying to kill me. And let's do this. Let's go around clockwise here. Howdy! We're doing the same thing. We're all making videos. Everybody must think we're nuts. We're over here taking video all over the place. It's a Cayman or Cayman. I forgot how to pronounce that. Is that Cayman or Cayman? Whatever it is, it's a K-225. There we go. Huey's a lot bigger than I remember, but then the last time I saw one up close in real life was when I was a kid in Jamaica, so naturally, yeah, it was considerably larger than I was. All right, and what do we have here? This looks like F-100 or F-102. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Here comes FlightSimGuy. So what do we have over here? A Pratt & Whitney. Looks like a J57 engine. Very nice. I guess I can probably read what it says for you guys. It says the 10,000-pound thrust J57 was the world's most powerful turbojet when 8 of them powered the B-52 prototype in 1952. The engine has 2 spools to provide an overall pressure ratio of 12:1, which was about twice the state-of-the-art when the prototype J57 ran in 1950. After the B-52, the J57 powered the KC-135 tanker, the A-3D, the F-4D, the U-2, and the SM-62 missile. Wow, I did not know that. The J57 thrust increased by 50% when fitted with an afterburner for the F-100, the F-101, the F-102 fighter aircraft. The commercial version of the engine launched luxury jet travel in the Boeing 707 and the Douglas DC-8. Over 20,000 of these engines were produced. The weight of this sucker, 4,125 pounds. That's a lot of engine right there. Wow. That's where the fuel is. We got the turbine blades. Absolutely amazing. And then we have a Pratt & Whitney rocket engine. Looking good, looking good. Designed as an engine for upper stage booster rockets, the RL-10 was the first rocket engine designed and produced by Pratt & Whitney and was employed in the Centaur and Saturn S4 booster rockets with great success, using liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen as propellants to produce a high specific impulse. The RL-10 features a propellant-cooled combustion chamber, thrust control system, ability to stop and restart, dry lubrication. Don't ask me what that means. And hydrogen cooling of moving parts. This example, an early version of the RL-10, produces 15,000 pounds of thrust and with a very specific impulse of 427 seconds for a weight of 297 pounds. That's a rocket engine right there. Wow. And as you can see over here, we've got some more stuff having to do with the lunar module. And of course, our astronaut flight suit. Extra Vehicular Mobility Unit, or EMU. Oh yeah. And of course, we've got some flight simulators here, and the kids are enjoying that. Okay, let's see what we have over here. Looks like more helos. We have a better look at our Hun here. Vietnam Air War. What appears to be a military glider. Oh, look at that. I did not realize these had twin rotors. That is pretty cool. So what are we looking at here? Come on, of course. H-843F Husky, 1961. And I'll read to you what it says there. With its unique beater intermeshing rotors, the Husky series was produced from 1958 to 1965, serving the Navy, Marines, Air Force, and several foreign countries. This example, equipped with fire suppression equipment and rescue team, served as a plane guard for Air Force One, escorting takeoffs and landings of President Kennedy, Johnson, and Nixon, as well as VIP flights from Andrews Air Base in Washington, D.C. Interesting. Such a unique design, too. But then Kaman is noted for that. And here's a little sneak peek for you at what I'll be showing off next in Vietnam for the FSX Vietnam era. This is another Kaman helicopter. This is, of course, the SH-2F Sea Sprite. So you'll be seeing this one probably next week when I get back home and actually have the time to finish up the episode. So we'll be going through that, so I won't go into too much detail with that particular helo. Alright, so moving right along. And here we have an A4D1 Skyhawk. It's another one that I do need to feature on a Vietnam era series. However, again, that will be coming a little bit later. Let's get a good look here. And actually right behind me right now is an F4 Phantom, so we're going to take a look at that in a moment. But first I wanted to read to you the little blurb that it says here about the Skyhawk. Alright, so it says, a simple, lightweight jet-age successor to the venerable Sky Raider, the Skyhawk became an outstanding carrier and land-based attack aircraft, serving as a primary attack weapon for the Navy, Marines, and foreign air forces from 1956 to the 1980s. Immensely strong for its size, versions powered by the Pratt & Whitney J52 boasted a gross weight of more than twice the empty weight. This early example, the 210th of the more than 2,000 produced, is powered by a Wright J65. Wow. So there we go. That is the Skyhawk. Look at the rocket pods under there. Oh, I didn't even notice there is a bomb there. I'm guessing that's the retarded system, like an airdrop bomb, probably a Mark 82 air. And look at this beauty over here. You know what this is. Yes, sirree, McDonnell Douglas F4 Phantom. Wow. You really get an idea of the scale of these things here. I am just about 6 feet tall, and you can see where I come up to on this aircraft. It's crazy. It is huge. It's a lot larger than I thought it would be. All right, so let's read what it says here. First flown in May of 1958, the Phantom's been the top U.S. fighter for 30 years and has been used by all three branches of our armed forces as well as many foreign powers. The Phantom II is powered by two J79 GE-15 engines, each rated at 17,820 pounds of thrust. They give the over 54,000 pound plane a speed of close to 1,500 miles per hour and a ceiling of over 50,000 feet. It can carry 16,000 pounds of bombs and rockets. This particular aircraft flew in the air over Southeast Asia in December 1972 while being flown by Lieutenant Colonel James Brunson and Major Ralph Pickett. It was officially credited with downing a MiG-21. So there we go. This bird has seen some action. Look at the cockpit there. Wow. So beautiful. So beautiful. The mighty Phantom, up close and in person. I'm going to walk around the back of it here. This is a Pratt & Whitney Wasp-A engine, designed by George J. Meade and Andrew V.D. Wilgoose. The Wasp engine was the most advanced air-cooled radial engine of its time. The Wasp was designed to meet the U.S. Navy requirements for powering carrier-based combat aircraft. The engine with serial number 12 was the last engine in a series of 12 hand-built prototypes. This engine, in its original unrestored condition, gave power 410 horsepower at 1900 RPMs, had a weight of 745 pounds, and a displacement of 1,344 cubic inches. Wow. It's a nice radial there. And as you can see, we've got the back end of the Phantom. There's his famous trademark tail fins here, and elevators. And there it is, the engines. Oh, can you imagine the raw power of this bird? Looks like they've got their spoilers down. Spoilers are down, flaps are down. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's see what they have on the other side of the room here.
Elevators go down, and I know the reason for that because if it was straight over there, the air coming by the wind.
It looks like we've got tucked in the corner a Fokker triplane. Almost looks like the Red Baron's in town here. So let's see what he is up to. So far, I still have not located the Tomcat. I'm not sure if it's still here. I asked the gentleman at the front desk, and he could not tell me one way or the other because he just recently started here. But if it's here, we'll find it. But how about that? That is a piece of aviation history right there. Now, unfortunately, there's a little thing in front of me, as you can see, so I can't exactly get over there to really show you or read to you what it says. But suffice to say, you know what that is. It's instantly recognizable. Okay, so we have the F-104 Starfighter here. Brilliant, brilliant. All right, and I'm going to read to you what it says here. It says, designed by the legendary Clarence Kelly Johnson in the early 1950s, the Lockheed F-104 Starfighter was to provide the United States Air Force with a lightweight, high-performance fighter. Prototype aircraft first flew in March of 1954. The striking feature of the Starfighter was its extremely short, thin, straight wings, as opposed to the swept or delta wing designs of the time. The wings were only 3 inches thick, and the leading edge so sharp that ground crews had to install protective guards to avoid injury while servicing the aircraft. Each wing is only 7.5 feet long and canted downward at a 10-degree anhedral. The Starfighter was the first combat aircraft capable of sustaining Mach 2 flight, and its speed and climb performance remain impressive even by today's standards, with an operational speed of 1,450 miles per hour and a rate of climb of 48 50,000 feet per minute. It was powered by a single General Electric J79 afterburning turbojet, delivering a combined 15,600 pounds of thrust. Basic armament included a 20mm M61 Vulcan 6-barrel Gatling gun with 725 rounds. It could also be equipped with the AIM Sidewinder missiles and a variety of bombs and rockets. The starfighter served with the United States Air Force from 1958 until 1969, and then with the Air National Guard until it was phased out in 1975. Some aircraft were later operated by NASA. Later models of the F-104 were flown by 14 countries in addition to the United States. The last operational military starfighters were retired by the Italian Air Force in 1994. This particular example set the speed and altitude record for an operational F-104C during the Cold War when it was flown to 92,000 feet at a speed of Mach 2.5 while assigned to the 479th Tactical Fighter Wing stationed at Hahn Air Force Base in Germany in 1962. This flight, which was tracked by Soviet radar, demonstrated the starfighter's capability of meeting a threat of newly deployed Soviet technology, including the MiG-23 fighter. Wow. I know that was a lot to read, but definitely a lot of history with this aircraft. Ah, so beautiful. And then we come to my absolute favorite of the World War II birds. This is, of course, the Chance Vought F4U Corsair. Oh, I can't even begin to tell you just how much love I have for this particular bird. Look at that. There's some kind of a proclamation here. I'm not going to read that, it's a little too small, but suffice to say it's about the Corsair. There we go. We have that wing. Notice they've got the other wing folded up there. Take a look at this radial engine, folks. That is a monster. I'm standing in front of this propeller, and it is, one of these propeller blades is about my height. And as I explained earlier, I'm about 6 foot tall. Yeah, this is insane. And I'll read to you what it says here in the little blurb. I don't even know if I can get all of this aircraft in the frame, but I got to be up close to read this thing for you. It says the Corsair was a premier fighter and ground support aircraft of the Navy and Marines from World War II to the Korean conflict. The distinctive inverted gull wing was designed to shorten and lighten the landing gear while providing ground clearance for the large propeller necessary to handle the 2,000 horsepower Pratt & Whitney R2800 engine. The last piston engine fighters to be produced in the United States, Corsairs served in reserve squadrons until 1957 and foreign air forces into the late 1960s. This example, a prototype, was one of the more than 2,350 F4U4s produced. And she is a grand lady, let me tell you. Absolutely beautiful. See the little bubble canopy there. And here are your weapon mounts. Wow. She's a machine of war, but she is a beautiful bird. I could spend all day looking at her. So yeah, so far I've seen a lot of good stuff, but still no Tomcat. Alright, so what do we have here? 416th Bombardment Group. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I'm bad when it comes to remembering my bombers. I'm sure all of you already know exactly what it is without me even having to say anything. Which reminds me, I should probably do some more War Thunder videos at some point in time. This looks like a Thunderbolt here. P-47. I mean, I could be wrong, but let's take a look-see. I like the little mannequin there. Just notice it has on lipstick. Oh, and there's a Jeep, by the way, for you, military Jeep. Yes, it is, a Republic P-47 Thunderbolt. And of course I'll read to you what it says. The Thunderbolt, nicknamed the Jug because of its shape, was the heaviest single-engine fighter of World War II, serving the United States and its many allies on all fronts. Used both as a fighter bomber and pursuit aircraft, it was legendary for its diving speed and lethal firepower. 8 50 cal machine guns mounted in the wings. Wow. And the ability to absorb severe damage and still bring the pilot home. This example appears in the markings of Bradley Field's 57th Fighter Group, the 65th Fighter Squadron aircraft, while serving in Italy in 1945. There we got some of the air-to-ground munitions. You got big and you've got small. Looks like they need air in the tire, though. I think it's flat there. And here's a 50 cal for comparison. That is a mean machine, definitely.
I'm looking to see who made the engine.
I want to say it's probably Pratt and Whitney.
Yeah, it could be Pratt or it could be GE or
Yeah, it's possible.
not, even Westinghouse made them in there for a while.
Yeah, Westinghouse did make some as well, too. Chit-chatting with the other patrons here. It's always fun. The Story of Norma. I'm not going to read that. Seems like a lot to read. But let's head over this side here. There's a list of all the crew that served in the 57th Fighter Group, 64th Fighter Squadron. This is their Wall of Honor. Wow. Very sobering to think all those people served, and most of them are probably already gone. Wow. And I like their little insignias as well, too. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so what we are going to do around this time is we're going to check out the other hangar, the civil aviation hangar, and see what we can find out in there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it for now, and we will be back with a part 2. So stay tuned, folks. Ciao.